Spores.
Spores are important parts of life on many planets. Spores are a mystery wrapped up like hungry rabbits. But where did they come from? No one really knows. Galaxies a million years.
My name is Cameron Meeks, and I am a mycologist. A mycologist being myco, mushroomology, mushroom science, fungi science. And I run a small sterile tissue laboratory in Ashland, Oregon. And I'm out here in the national forest of my hometown. And we're searching for chanterelles right now. But also in the process of searching for chanterelles, we're also looking for any edible or medicinal fungi that we can clone in the laboratory to harvest those phenotypes for the purposes of cultivating medicine or food. Right now, we just came across our first patch of chanterelles, and we're going to harvest them. Chanterelles are a mycorrhizal species. They interact with the root systems of plants, specifically intact forests. And so you have to be in an intact forest to find chanterelles.
Spores onto vessels were loaded on distant planets. Placed into jars sealed in iron fire cabinets. They brought them to you 10 million years ago. Sperm grows beneath the sand and nicely on and on. But walk out in the woods or swim out in the bog. And soon you found a cabin.
So this is a chanterelle. It's a mycorrhizal species that grows here in southern Oregon. And this is a very, nice characteristic. It's a very meaty one right here. You can see the gills kind of extending all the way down the stem base. One thing you want to keep in mind when you're harvesting the chanterelles is not to damage the mycelium. They cannot be cultivated. They're a mycorrhizal species that has a very complex relationship with the root systems of trees and plants. And so in the process of harvesting them, cut them at the base as best you can. Don't rip them up. Try not to damage the mycelium because there's a large network of mycelium right underneath me currently. Mycelium is effectively the roots of a mushroom. So if you were thinking, a plant, the shoot is the upper part of the body and the lower part is the mycelium. And it's consuming this food source around here, actually giving it enough biological force to create the mushroom. And this mushroom is in effect creating seeds, which are being spread far and wide around this area. I'm covered in spores now. And seeds, spores, mycelium, roots. Mushroom is effectively the flower of a fungi. It's a nicely exposed one here. Not much excavation to be done. Again, you just look underneath, see how far the stem goes down. Get a little cut. And there's a very picturesque, that's like a textbook chanterelle right there. Hold it up right there. A lot of times the chanterelles will just push up the forest stuff and you look around and if you look closely, look, there's a beautiful, huge chanterelle right adjacent to the other one we just picked. And that's dinner. Oh, this one's interesting too because since it was so submerged in the soil and wasn't picked, you can see some of the bacteria are starting to infect it here. So yeah, that kind of orange discoloration, that's not necessarily a healthy sign. And you can also see this webbing, all this fuzz right here. That's the actual chanterelle mycelium regrowing and growing off the stalk of the mushroom because it was subterranean. It wasn't actually going to get above the surface unless somebody like us or another animal unearthed it. This still has some edible flesh on it here, so we'll take it since we cut it. But you can just see what ends up happening if there's really high humidity under there, which allows the mycelium to grow off the actual biological surface of the mushroom. It's a really cool specimen, actually. Mushrooms and many different species, birds, four-legged animals, trees, plants, many different species, they have a mutualistic relationship. Mushrooms, fungi, they assist ecosystems.
So what do you tell people when they're like, I'm afraid to pick mushrooms because I don't want to disturb the forest?
Right. Well, be careful. Don't just pillage the forest. Be respectful of smaller mushrooms needing to sporulate further to spread the seed of the network. Or, don't be ripping conchs off of trees to make your own medicine. Be cognizant of the way you're impacting the ecosystem. But at the same time, when you're picking edible mushrooms like this, these are still sporulating right now. You can't see it, but there's, you know, there's wisps of spores coming off. I'm covered in spores now. And get some bags that have some holes in them. So after you harvest them and you're still tromping around the forest, you're effectively spreading their seed far and wide. Deer, they eat these things. You know, why are these, you know, palatable to deer? Well, the mushrooms, you know, the spores survive through the deer's intestinal tracts, and it's, you know, it's placed through feces in the rest of the forest. I mean, the same goes for us. You're just covered in them. These are a functional, you know, it's kind of like, you know, the mushrooms are using us to spread their seed, and at the same time giving us a gift. It's a nice exchange.
Spores. 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 Spores grow inside the vaults of kings and new accountants. Spank a spank, invest and spend my spores out on the market. But this bed unsee this still when I withdraw.
So this is Hericium abiatus, which is a relative of Hericium erinaceus. And Hericium erinaceus is lion's mane mushroom, and it is a prominent medicinal mushroom and is prized for its ability to stimulate nerve growth in the brain and body. It's very nice, teeth, pure white, kind of looks like a tree almost. It's very distinct with the teeth, but it also kind of pockets off. You can kind of see how there's little clusters here, little nodes. It's not like an even spherical, it's very layered in the way it is.
Crazy.
Yeah, this is a good one to eat. You're gonna have a meal tonight.
Spores on the cabin when inside and made a fire. Then you learn the secrets through an interplanetary wire. Spores. Spores. Spores.
This is like right where the mushroom originated from and fruited from. You can just see the line of flesh that we cut to take it off of there. This is older. There's a lot of mold going on there. You're gonna clean that out. You obviously don't want to mess with that. You know, really scrape it. We'll cut this out.